Hey Shooby Doodlers, how are you doing? Well, I had a message from Grace Liu who asked me, please teach us how to draw an aqueduct, and I've been doing some little sketches, so it's going to start like this, and we're going to kind of start with this kind of the edge of the hillside, because we're kind of spanning a valley. That's the idea. Is I'm going to start, this is kind of the side of the valley, and you can just kind of make that disappear with maybe a few little bits of grass at the bottom like that. And what we want it to do is to span the valley. So what we're going to do is draw a line going across, maybe just going slightly up to give us some perspective like that. And we're going to want kind of the valley will be kind of on the other side. Sort of imagine there's going to be, yeah, that's the other side, isn't there, basically? So then I'm going to draw another line down below it like that, very close next to it there, and then we need to draw some arches, and these are going to come sort of down like that, and so they want to be fairly similar. Well, they want to be exactly the same, really, don't they, preferably, but this is going to be slightly shorter because this is sort of going up into the hillside, which is sort of coming down like that. And these ones here are going to be kind of on the ground, kind of in a river as well. So we're going to add a bit of 3D here. And we're going to bring these little kind of curves down like that. And we want to see some in there as well. And then we're going to kind of put like a rock in the middle of the river there or something like that. And then, you know, I'm going to imagine this is actually out of the water here. So it'll be something like that. So then the river, are you following me? This is all a bit confusing. So this is going to be the river. And we'll have that in the river as well. And then we're going to want kind of river waves sort of coming along there. And I'm going to have that just disappearing into the distance down here. Now we need to build on this. We're going to have another layer. And so we want to do similar arches above. So if you follow immediately above and draw an arch, losing the paper, and then we want to do exactly the same. Follow another one like that, and then another one is going to go like that, and another one like that, and another one like that, which is going to kind of disappear off into the hillside, and we want another one there, and then we'll follow along here as well, and we're going to want an extra one too. Now we're going to need another line going across like that, and we're going to draw another thin line. So this is kind of a pattern in the bricks, and another one just above it like that. So, are you with me? So what we're going to do is draw little arrow angles like that to give us something to aim at. So this is kind of the top of this bottom bridge. Does that make sense? So this is the road surface of the bottom half of the bridge. And this is just kind of the way they built it. So it's like one bridge on top of another is how they built it. And we're going to have the same going on here. And then we're going to want this up and then curving in up at the top to give that three-dimensional feel to the whole thing. This is draw stuff real easy, but this isn't an easy drawing for us to start off with. So where do we go from here? Now we're going to need some smaller ones on the top here, and you might want to have a pencil here. So if we're going to draw the centers lines of these arches, and then we're going to want to kind of go in between them again like that. The center line, and they'll be going across something like that. So we are going to want to go in between little arches like that, in between things, so that I went over too many there. Hang on, I've got to catch up again. So we're drawing two of these for every one below, and that's sort of going to go off into the distance there. And we want one here, and then again we can draw a line above it, and then that'll be kind of the edge and then you might actually see the top of the other side of the bridge there. And we want to do a similar thing here. This needs to be the same kind of depth, going up like that and up, so it's angle and around, angle and around. I'll just speed through this bit. And we probably want to see a bit of kind of hillside on the other side as well, so we're going to have that going sort of across there with some rocks and things like that. You might see some through there as well, and then the river you're going to see as well following through. So this is a line that's following through. I didn't suggest this, okay? It's I didn't request this. This is a complicated thing to do. So to give that kind of brick feel, then do kind of staggered bricks like that. You don't need too many, and every now and then one on top of another, and then another, maybe a little one, and just give a feeling of stonework, a suggestion of stonework. You've got a bit more room here, and maybe some kind of half ones there like that. That can come around the corner. Maybe some on the inside there, like that, and we can do things like that. So it's these kind of little double ones, and sometimes you can maybe do, you know, a treble like that, but it's just giving an effect of stone. If you actually start drawing every single stone, the whole thing does get a bit messy. You know, it's like drawing brickwork and having, you know, every brick in there really does make it quite messy. So I'm just going to zip through these last little bricks. There we go, and I'm going to assume that the light is coming from this direction, so you could, if you want to, kind of add a bit more definite shade there. And you might want to put a bit of shade in underneath the arches like that. So I'm just doing a little, it kind of gets slightly further apart as you're drawing each little hash, as we would call it. And I'm thinking that in a moment I'm going to add some grayscale, just some grey paint, I think, just to kind of help the aqueduct stand out from the background. And if I'm going to use grey watercolour paint, which is that's just because of the way I work, but you could use, you know, and you could use coloured pencils or crayons or anything you want. I'm also going to add some little extra kind of details here, so maybe that's a kind of a rock there with be some shadow like that, and some more grass and stuff like that. Now I know that the ink is dry, so I'm going to erase those pencil lines now. I have my little paint set here. With my Pentel Aquash brush, so I'm getting this kind of grey paint, and I'm just going to splosh that in on the front edge here, and just kind of let that kind of go down there. And then I'm going to do some in the background, so I'm going to leave the actual aqueduct itself white, and I'm going to paint in between these bits. I'm worried about the battery on my camera running out. And so yeah, we'll paint the river as well, why not? So it's just kind of letting, and I'm also going to paint these internal walls, I think, just to make them stand out a bit more. So I'm going to paint like that. So just the curves, and then we want to come down to the river as well, and we're going to, so that's just going to be kind of grey, we want that internal curve, and then we'll have a bit of grey up here as well, and then I'm just going to go kind of wiggle for the river like that. Just missed that last bit there, and there you go, Grace. I hope that helps, and I hope that just it gets the aqueduct standing out against the background. That's the trouble with drawing an aqueduct, you really need the background in there too. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, make sure you are subscribed to Draw Stuff Real Easy. Click the little button down here and click the bell when it comes up to you, and you'll be notified of new videos when I post them on Thursdays 4 p.m. UK time. In the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.